How much do billionaires spend on security? Billionaires have a lot of money. This probably doesn't surprise you. It also shouldn't surprise you that billionaires tend to spend quite a lot of money keeping themselves, their families, and their many, many luxury possessions nice and safe. So in this video, I'll show you just how much money billionaires are willing to pay for security. I think it goes without saying that if you're worth a ridiculous amount of money, when it comes to security, you're going to be packing a little bit more than a taser and a safety whistle. According to The Fortune, Facebook paid a reported $7.3 million back in 2017 to provide security for Mark Zuckerberg. Billionaires are pretty much always carrying luxury items on them wherever they go. Whether it's wearing $1,000 worth of clothes like Mark Zuckerberg or driving a Bugatti Veyron like Jeff Bezos, they tend to be packing the kind of stuff some people would kill for. Now, I don't know how much security Facebook paid for, or just how good the security was. They could be ex-CIA agents for all we know. What I do know is that if you're paying for high-level security, it's very likely going to cost you $21,370 per day, roughly the same cost as Zuckerberg's security. And that's not even including other security costs for when your bodyguards aren't around. Security costs like top-of-the-line home security systems, they tend to cost quite the pretty penny. You know, the type of system that can have the police at your house in 3 minutes if someone so much as squeezes a doorknob wrong. These billionaires aren't just protected at their homes, though. They're also protected in their homes away from home, be it in midair or in the middle of the ocean. If a billionaire owns a yacht, you know well that yacht is going to have some top-of-the-line protection. Take Roman Abramovich's insane $500 million yacht, with its convenient submarine for easy covert getaways, or the fact that it comes with its own missile defense system. If a billionaire is spending their vacation on a yacht, you know for sure that boat is going to be crawling with security. There just might be an incident on board after all, or you might have to fight off some pirates. Let's start off with Mark Zuckerberg and see how much he spends. Turns out, Mark outspends quite a few billionaires, like Jeff Bezos and Larry Ellison, when it comes to security. Ordinarily, the billionaire Facebook founder receives a measly little salary of $1. Damn, he must really be scraping by. When it comes to his protection, though, he gets a nice fat bonus of $23.4 million for personal security from Facebook to keep him and his family safe. Facebook also pays $1.5 million for his personal aircraft, all part of the sweet security program. Spending on Zuckerberg's personal security has increased more than 500% since 2012. What can I say? The world is a dangerous place, and Mark is having absolutely none of that. Thanks to Zuckerberg's appearance as such a public figure and being tied to a couple of controversies, Facebook is ready to pour a tremendous amount of resources into keeping him safe. That includes some security measures you've probably only seen in action comedy movies, like panic shoots for making quick escapes. Business Insider reported that Facebook has dramatically expanded its security apparatus, protecting itself against a range of perceived threats, from car bombs to state-sponsored espionage. It reported that a 6,000-strong security army quietly protects its tens of thousands of employees, and armed protection officers stand guard outside Zuckerberg's homes. Now that is billionaire-level security right there. Next up, let's check out Jeff Bezos, the second richest man in the world, and probably the guy you expected to spend the most on security. Well, to be fair, you wouldn't be completely wrong. Amazon did increase its spending on security for Bezos, especially as his visibility grew, and he became more of a household name. Despite holding the title of the richest man in the world, which I imagine is the equivalent of holding a sign that says, "Come rob me," his security spending isn't even half the amount Mark Zuckerberg spends. Amazon spends $1.6 million a year on Bezos' security, a figure that seems to always remain constant, with Bezos personally spending the extra cash needed to reach the billionaire-level security threshold. While Amazon picks up the tab for providing security at business facilities and the like, Bezos pays for his own personal security. As for the frugal billionaire, Warren Buffett, well, as you can imagine, his company has spent very little on security. Quite on brand. Back in the day, Berkshire Hathaway reported spending no security costs on protecting its CEO, Warren Buffett, until a man with camouflage paint on his face and a fake gun ruined it by trying to break into the billionaire's home. Since then, Berkshire spends $339,000 a year on personal and home security services for Warren. When it comes to the billionaire founder of software firm Oracle, Larry Ellison, his security spending has actually declined quite a bit over the years, even as his net worth rose to the current $112 billion. Oracle pays the annual costs of $1.6 million, maintaining security personnel at his primary residence, Ellison's Japanese-style Woodside, California estate. With its elaborate koi pond and tea house, who wouldn't want to rob the place? Well, to be fair, Oracle didn't pay for everything. Ellison paid for the initial purchase and installation of the security equipment and is responsible for ongoing maintenance and upgrades to the place. I know you're probably wondering, how much does Elon Musk spend on security? Well, to be honest, I have no idea. It's just that well kept a secret. We know he for sure has some security, and he does have a $70 million Gulfstream G650ER. That's gotta provide him some security. Then again, his private jet did start getting tracked by a teenager from Florida, so maybe it's not that safe. Speaking of CEOs with unclear amounts of money spent on security, Google's parent Alphabet has not disclosed any spending in recent years to cover the personal security of its billionaire co-founder Larry Page, its CEO. Nor has it disclosed any spending to protect Google co-founder and Alphabet president Sergey Brin. Then again, both Page and Brin are worth $117 billion and $112 billion, so I'm fairly sure they can foot their own security bill. Mark Zuckerberg famously hired 16 bodyguards to protect himself and his family. These bodyguards are present 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year. These highly trained bodyguards follow their billionaires pretty much everywhere they're permitted, be it a public or a private gathering. They're paid some thick six-figure salaries, so they're quite motivated and incentivized. Try anything fishy around their employer, and you'd be lucky to get out unscathed. Billionaires also make sure they have protection beyond just bodyguards. As you can imagine, when you're worth a few $1 billion, even your own bodyguards might have it out for you. So billionaires try to keep a check on everyone around them. And how do they do that? Well, they hire a private surveillance agency. These agencies have investigative officers, and they get paid around $200 to $300 an hour to monitor the people around these billionaires. And when your paranoia really gets out of hand, you can even have them investigate your own bodyguards. It's their job to find out if these bodyguards aren't working properly or if they've been having a few middle-of-the-alley talks with strangers one too many times. These surveillance agencies watch over billionaires, their girlfriends, boyfriends, friends, and their children, and they make a lot of money doing it. Another important part of billionaire security is their home security system. Bodyguards and surveillance agencies are helpful and all, but they certainly can't be around all the time. So what do you do if you want to keep your family safe and your sweet McLaren GT parked in your garage? That's where home security comes in. Your average billionaire is probably going to have multiple homes all around the country, and sometimes abroad. So home security is going to be a pretty big deal. I'm talking several $1 million big. Billionaires end up spending exorbitant amounts of money, making sure their homes are bulletproof and impervious to nearby explosions. They also make sure only them and their families can get into their homes. You can go with something fancy like a biometric access control system, or go with the good old-fashioned system that alerts the police when someone forgets the door code. I know what I'd do though. I'm placing a futuristic retinal scanner on every door in the house. Yes, including the bathroom. Even with such high levels of protection, sometimes you need an escape plan, and quite a few billionaires have them built into their homes. I'm talking about bunkers and secret escape routes. Some billionaire homes have secret bunkers stocked with enough food and water to survive the fall of society as we know it, or to just hide and get some peace and quiet. Sometimes hiding isn't really much of an option. Just like billionaire Lachlan Murdoch's Chartwell estate, some homes come with secret tunnels great for escaping intruders or a really boring cocktail party. When it comes down to it, not all billionaires maintain high security. It's usually the more popular ones that get a lot of media attention. It turns out that when you're incredibly popular, people tend to want to do weird things to you. Who knew? Since many billionaires aren't exactly well known, they don't usually have to bother with a bunch of security, choosing to keep a low profile instead. Hey, who knows? That just might be the secret to not spending several $1 million every year on security. If you enjoyed the video, well, you're in luck, because I've got more where that came from. Click on a video on the screen. You won't be disappointed. See you there.